Hello everyone. Now we continue from this example. Put these values of these I terms in this equation. We get collect the real part, that is non-I terms, that is x cube, and this minus 3xy square plus remaining two terms containing I. Take the common I. The remaining terms becomes 3x square y minus y cube. Okay, this is one complex number, and this is LHS side is a plus I. B is another complex number, and two complex number are equal when their corresponding real part and imaginary part must be equal. Okay, therefore comparing the real and imaginary part on the both side, what we get, a is equal to this term and b is equal to I coefficient this term. Okay, now consider the LHS side of this. What we have to prove? The equation LHS side is a upon x plus b upon y. What we have to prove? This value becomes, or this value is 4 times this one, x square minus y square. Now a, put this value of a upon x plus b this upon y, then equal to x, one x gets cancelled and one y gets cancelled. We get x square minus 3y square plus 3x square, y gets cancelled, minus y square. Therefore adding this, x square plus 3x square, 4x square, and these two minus 4y square. Take common 4, we get the required result, 4 into x square minus y square. Now next example, consider we have to prove that this e raised to 2ai cot inverse, this is cot inverse b, into this bracket, numerator is bi minus 1, denominator is bi plus 1, raised to indices minus a is equal to 1. We have to prove this value equal to 1. Okay, consider this bracket expression first. We have to solve this first, that bi minus 1 upon bi plus 1 is equal to, multiply and divide by I. What we get? b I square minus I upon b I square plus I. Again I square value is minus 1, therefore it becomes minus b minus I and upon minus b plus I. Okay, reverse the term or take a minus common and cancel on numerator and denominator. We get b plus I, or like it is like this, minus, take a minus common. Okay, now cancel this minus sign, we get b plus I upon b minus I. This expression, the bracket expression becomes, we solve this or simplify this, we get this. Now b plus I, let b plus I is the complex. Now consider the numerator, complex number in the numerator. B plus I is the complex number, it is in Cartesian form. Okay, where x plus iy, x value is b and y value is 1. Therefore we have to convert it into polar and exponential form. How we convert it? B plus iy, we know the polar form and the exponential form of the complex number, like z, if z is equal to x plus iy, then polar form is r cos theta plus I sin theta, and exponential form is r as it is e raised to I theta. These are the definitions. Now consider this one complex number, b plus I is equal to, this is Cartesian form, this is polar form, and this is exponential form. For simplicity we use exponential form, where now we have to calculate r and theta. R is under root b square x square plus y square, y is coefficient of I, that is 1 square, therefore answer is 1 plus b square, under root of 1 plus b square is r value, and theta is tan inverse of, definition is tan inverse of y upon x, y value is 1 upon x value is b, tan inverse of 1 upon b. And this is one formula, tan inverse of 1 upon b is a cot inverse b. Okay, we are going to use this formula here. Therefore b plus I becomes, by putting all these values on a equation, we get b plus I is equal to r e raised to I theta, that is, and b minus I is equal to, we are consider only exponential form here first, b plus I, we calculated this numerator as r e raised to I theta, r and theta values are this. Therefore we don't need to calculate whole things for b minus I, where it is just a complex conjugate of above numerator. Therefore b minus I similarly becomes r as it is e raised to minus theta. Just replace the sign. This is a complex conjugate of this term. Okay, now consider this bracket term, b minus 1 bi minus 1 upon bi plus 1 is equal to this term b plus I upon b minus I, which is equal to, now we have to solve, r e raised to I theta upon r e raised to minus I theta. R gets cancelled, e raised to I theta as it is, and this e raised to minus I theta goes to numerator, it becomes plus. E raised to I theta into e raised to I theta is e raised to 2 I theta, and which is equal to e raised to 2I is a constant as it is, and theta value as we earlier calculated as cot inverse of b. Okay, from this equation 2. Now we have to prove this term. We can evaluate or simplify this term as this. Now consider its indice minus 1, minus a. Therefore this note we will consider later on. B minus I, it is the LHS side of one term, second term of LHS side, raised to minus a becomes this e raised to 2I cot inverse b as it is, and raised to minus inverse raised to minus a as it is. Okay, the indice raised to indice, property of indice is e raised to a into b. If it is there, then e raised to ab. We have to multiply these two terms. Therefore e raised to minus 2 a cot inverse b is there. Take a minus sign in the denominator, we get this plus sign. Sign gets reversed when we come from numerator to denominator or denominator to numerator. Now consider, therefore this value we get evaluated as this term. Now put this value in this equation. What we get? E raised to 2I cot inverse b as it is, and this value is 1 upon e raised to 2IA, same term is there, cot inverse b becomes cancel, or this term gets on that side, take this term on LHS side, we get 1. Okay, now consider next example. If I, this is I raised to a plus ib is equal to a plus ib, this is given thing. A and b are real numbers, I is a complex number. Then prove that a square plus b square is equal to e raised to minus pi b, and tan pi a by 2 is equal to b upon a. This we have to prove. Okay, now consider the given thing. We have to simplify the given thing, then only we can calculate this thing, these terms. I raised to a plus ib, given thing is a plus ib. Therefore now we have to convert this I into polar form. Okay, for that here notice this, we have to mug up all these things. Okay, you have to remember all these things while going to exam. One, wherever one is there in the example, we have to, if we have to solve in the polar form, write it as 1 is equal to cos 0 plus I sin 0, because we know cos 0 is 1, sin 0 is 0, 1 is equal to 1. Therefore 1 we write it as cos 0 plus I sin 0. Similarly minus 1 can be written as cos pi plus I sin pi, where cos pi value is minus 1, sin pi is 0 we know, and I term is cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. I should remain the same, therefore I term is sin should exist. Therefore cos 90 degree is 0, sin 90 is 1 we know. That's why if I is there, we have to use this term. Now minus I, just replace plus by minus sign. Okay, in this sentence, in this expression, just replace this plus by minus sign. We get cos pi by 2 minus I sin pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0, sin pi by 2 is 1 minus I. Okay, now use this by using this note in this equation. What we have done? I, replace I by this term, cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2, raised to as it is a plus ib is equal to a plus ib. Why we are solving this? Because if we want to prove this term, we have to find out a and b, capital A and B. And if we want to capital A and B value, RHS side is simple one. We can't simplify this term. We have to simplify this term so that it becomes the natural complex number in this form, so that we can compare A and B. In that case we get A and B, and if we get square we get the result. Okay, for that put this I value in this bracket, rest of the term as it is by above note. Therefore now convert this into exponential form. What exponential form we get? E raised to I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta is the formula, where theta must be the angle here. So what is cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by this formula? Then cos of theta value becomes pi by 2. Therefore this term becomes e raised to I into pi by 2. Okay, raised to I plus ib as it is equal to RHS side as it is. Now we know okay, now multiply, as we already write this formula of indices, e raised to or anything raised to a b is multiplied. Therefore we multiply these two terms one by one. What we get? E raised to I pi by 2 a, plus sign is there, it is indices only, in the indices only, plus I into I square pi b by 2. RHS side is as it is. Okay, now separate this term exponential. As we know one formula, e raised to a plus b is nothing but, or x, take a x raised to a plus b is nothing but x raised to a into x raised to b. If base is same, indices are different, then we add these two indices. Okay, similarly reversely, if addition or subtraction is there of the indices, we can separately subtract x raised to take a power of both the numbers a and b, and use this result, plus or minus. If it is minus, then it can be like this. Okay, plus minus. As of now we convert it into exponential form. Split this exponential, we get e raised to this term into, plus becomes into e raised to this term, where I square we replace it by minus 1 here. Okay, RHS side as it is. Now which one is complex number here? This term is a complex number because I is there, and it doesn't contain any complex number. Okay, I doesn't contain any I. This is not a complex number term, that's why take outside, put it as it is and take outside. And for this again take a bracket and use this formula or equation, that is e raised to I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta. Reversely we can think of cos theta plus I sin theta is e raised to I into this bracket. Therefore e raised to I theta becomes cos of this is theta pi a by 2 plus I sin, this is again theta pi a by, sin and cos angles are same, plus RHS side is same. In this way we convert this exponential into simple numerator form. Okay, now multiply this, take this term inside the bracket, we get this term into cos plus I, this term into sin is equal to a plus ib. Then what the step is, what we conclude from this this sentence? that one complex number, this is one complex number because I is there, and this is other complex number because complex unit I is there. Two complex numbers are equal if and only if we have their corresponding real part and imaginary part must be equal. This is real part, this is imaginary part of this complex number, this is real part and this is imaginary part of this complex number. Therefore, comparing real and imaginary part, we get a value is equal to this total term and b value is equal to coefficient of I, this is total term. Okay, now we get from the given thing, we conclude the a and b, we derived a and b. Now what we have to prove? Consider that LHS, a square plus b square. Therefore consider LHS, a square plus b square. Put the a value is this, therefore its square is nothing but this square plus this b square. Now take a square of this, what we get? To simplify this is a multiplication, square attached to both the terms, therefore this number square becomes 2 gets cancelled, minus e raised to minus pi b is there, and this is cos square. Here again 2 gets cancelled, e raised to minus pi b, same term, and into sin square. From both the term we can take a common, e raised to minus pi b. Okay, and in the bracket we get cos square this theta plus sin square same angle, and we know this identity is value is 1. Therefore answer is e raised to minus pi b, which is the RHS side of the question. Okay, now consider second term, b upon a. We have to find tan of this angle is equal to b upon a. We have to prove that. Therefore consider, we already calculated a and b. Now consider this b upon a, RHS side. Here b upon a becomes, this is b divided by this a, e raised to minus pi by pi b by 2 gets cancelled from the both side, and sin upon cos becomes tan pi by 2, pi a by 2, which is the required. It is very easy. This is the required question. Okay. Now consider the next example. If z1 plus z2 plus z3 is equal to 0 and mod of z1 is equal to mod of z2 is equal to mod of z3, these three are equal, whose value is k. K is a constant. These things are given thing. What we have to prove? 1 upon z1 plus 1 upon z2 plus 1 upon z3 is equal to 0. Okay, these three are obviously complex numbers. We have to assume by notation, let z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1, z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2, z3 is equal to x3 plus iy3. These three, we have to assume these three are complex numbers. Therefore, now consider mod of z1. We have to calculate all these things to derive this. Mod of z1 is modulus of z1. R value is under root of x1 square plus y1 square, and which is given, value is k. Similarly, mod of z2 is x2 square under root of x2 square plus y2 square. Real square plus imaginary part square is equal to, again it is given same value k, and mod z3 square is equal to under root of x3 square plus y3 square. Again its value is same k. Now from this, square on both sides for simplicity, squaring both sides, what we get? X1 square plus y1 square becomes k square, x2 square plus y2 square become k square, and x3 square plus y3 square becomes again square. Now again given this thing, z1 plus z2 plus z3 is equal to 0. This is given thing. Okay, from this what we get? Add these three terms, x1 plus iy1 plus x2 plus iy2 plus x3 plus iy3 is equal to 0. Collecting these all three terms are in addition. Therefore, collecting the real parts first, x1 plus x2 plus x3. You can put the bracket, plus in remaining three terms I is common, take outside, take a common, and the bracket becomes y1 plus y2 plus y3, and which is 0, it is given thing. Okay, then this is one complex number. What we conclude then from this sentence? One complex number is equal to 0. Any complex number, if it is 0, then corresponding real and imaginary part must be equal to 0. This is the definition or property of complex number. If suppose z is any complex number x plus iy, and if z is equal to 0, implies x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. Both must be equal to 0, then and then only complex number becomes 0, equal to 0. Therefore, this real part x1 plus x2 plus x3 becomes 0, is equal to 0, and y1 plus y2 plus y3 is equal to 0. This we get from given things. Okay. Now what we have to prove? Consider that term. What we have to prove? That 1 upon z1, LHS side consider 1 upon z1 plus 1 upon z2 plus 1 upon z3. Put this value, z1 is equal to x plus i1, iy1, z2 is x2 plus iy2, z3 is x3 plus iy3. Okay. Now as earlier also we have that step, if complex number comes in the denominator, we have to remove it from denominator by multiply and divide numerator and denominator by complex conjugate of the denominator factor. What is the denominator factor? x1 plus iy1. Multiply numerator and denominator by to this term by its complex conjugate, that is x1 minus iy1. Okay, this term as it is. Okay, plus multiply and divide by this complex conjugate of this number, x2 minus iy2, this term as it is, plus again similarly x3 minus iy3, multiply and divide by complex conjugate of the denominator. Okay, now numerator is same, denominator multiply a plus ib, a plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. This is the formula. Therefore, by that formula we get x1 square minus iy1 square, that is I square y1 square. Here x2 square minus iy2 square, I square y2 square. Here x3 square minus b square, that is I square y3 square. Again I square, we know minus 1, that's why put this value in this equation, we get this negative term plus x1 square plus y1 square, x2 numerator are same, x2 square plus y2 square, x3 square plus y3 square. Okay, now we know from this 2, x1 square plus y1 square, x2 square plus y2 square, x3 square plus y3 square is value k square. Take a common, we get 1 upon k square in the denominator, bracket, in the bracket addition of these three terms, x1 minus iy1, x2 minus iy2, x3 minus iy3. Now again collect the real and imaginary part, we get x1 plus x2 plus x3 at one side, and remaining terms are minus, negative, I is also common, take outside, we get y1 plus y2 plus y3, already minus we take outside. Okay, and from this 1, x1 plus x2 plus x3 is 0, y1 plus y2 plus y3 is again 0, total term becomes 0, and multiply by k square becomes 0, which is the RHS side of the question. Okay. Now consider next example. If mod of z plus 1 is equal to mod of z minus 1, it is a given thing, then what we have to prove? A real z means what? A real part of z. It is a short form. It is also short form, this or this, means this one. A real part of z is equal to 0. What we have to prove? That real part of z, this is one complex number, is a 0. Now consider the complex number, z is equal to x plus iy, which is a notation. Then consider this, z plus 1 becomes x plus iy, z value plus 1. Collect the real part, x plus 1 plus iy as it is. Take a bracket or you can keep it as it is. This is a z plus I1 term. Now z minus 1, this z x plus iy minus 1 as it is. Take a real part in the bracket, x minus 1 plus iy. Okay, these two we get we calculate as it is. Now we have to calculate mod of this term. What is mod of z plus 1 is equal to under root mod means modulus value, that is r value, under root of real number square plus imaginary number square, that is x plus 1 bracket square plus y square. Now expand the square in the bracket, a square plus 2ab plus b square, that is x square plus 1 plus 2x and this term y square. Here also mod of z minus 1 is under root of this number square plus y square. Again expand the square, x square, this plus y square, minus 2ab, that is minus 2x, and last plus 1. Now consider the given thing. These two terms are equal. Therefore consider mod of z plus 1 is equal to mod of z minus 1. Consider this root must be equal to this root. Take a square root on both sides. We get this term is equal to this term. Now this thing gets cancelled. X square, y square gets cancelled. 1 also gets cancelled. Okay. Then 2x and minus 2x comes on LHS side, becomes 4x. Okay. 4x is equal to 0. 4 cannot be 0. Therefore x must be equal to 0. Now what is x? X is the real part of this complex number is 0. That is we have to prove. Okay, that is the real part of z is equal to 0.